are weird, but I like him. You know, he's got some sauce in his combos, but he is very awkward. He is definitely a difficult character. I wouldn't say he's easy, and I don't know, man. I think he gets abused. Like, his mid-range is good, man. His mid-range is good. He's got some really good mid-range buttons. Like this right here, it's really good. 10 frames, look at it's cancelable as well. His combos offer a pretty decent corner carry. His anti-air is frame 1 invincible, so you can do it really late. It's 10 frames though. And this button's ridiculous. This part of a chain, so you can confirm it. It's +1 in your opponent's face. He's got a 4-frame low. So you kind of force a little mix up there, the +1 mix up. And on block, you're only -3. And you're not in your opponent's face, you know, you're not in throw range. So this button's really fucking good. This shit's busted. This crouching light kick's also pretty good. 5 frames, cancelable. What else? What are his other strings, man? I feel like that's kind of it. Like, his buttons, honestly. This is pretty good too. Like, it's hard to counter a Ned doing this. But that's kind of it, man. These flickers right here, they're very risky. Like, another good thing he has, his fully charged flickers on block leave you in a fucking insane position. You're +4, and you know, obviously you have a throw mix there, and if you bait the throw, his punish counter combo is really good. It'll look something like this. Like, really good damage and really good corner carry, and you get Oki from it. Those are his good things, man. Where his shortcomings are really severe, though. This right here is a big part. This fucking jab. The fact that his crouching jab, which is the one that has the most range, isn't cancelable. You have to go for stand jab if you want to cancel it. And look at this. You have to be in their face. Not even, like, you literally have to be fucking kissing them in order for this to connect. Anywhere else? Whiff. So it makes his up-close pressure game a lot worse, since this will whiff a lot of times. His anti-air, well, it being frame 1 and air invincible is really strong. It has no range, man. You have to use his other versions, which are much slower. So it makes it a lot more difficult to hit. Just anti-air regular fucking jumps, you know? 10 frames for an anti-air, it's really slow. Imagine if Luke's DP was 10 frames and it had no range, you know? Like, characters with good anti-airs don't really have to worry about that. Like Ed, he has to use multiple anti-airs. He doesn't have just one go-to. Like, this anti-air is everything if they jump up. Like, good characters do, you know? Like, Luke, Ken, Ryu now, Guile, like, he doesn't have that. You have to use multiple anti-airs for various angles, which is fucking... It's not a good thing, right? You don't want you want your character, like, you want your anti-airs to be consistent, and if they're in the air, you want to make... You want to know that if you know, use this move, it's gonna clip them. You don't want to worry about specific ranges, because when it gets chaotic, you know, it's very likely that you're gonna pick a wrong version. He's also very prone to DI. Like, this move right here is absolutely dead if your opponent has meter to DI it, aka if they're not burnt out, because it's so easy to DI it, you know? Like, he can kind of like somewhat fake charge it, but you're not gonna DI early, you're gonna DI late. Like, once you see a flash, he's committed into it. You know, and it's free DI. He doesn't cross you up when you DI, he stays in front of you. So it's useless using it in neutral. These right here, they're not that good. They're strong. On punish counter, like, you get a combo and you get Oki, you get a lot of corner carry, but most of the time you're not going to get punish counters. You're just going to get regular hits, and you're not going to be able to fully charge them because they just die to DI in neutral. You can bait DI in neutral by charging and then backdashing, but again, you're giving your opponent so much space. And guess what? What if they decide to just fucking turn green? just drive rush at you, you're kind of stuck. Or if they decide to jump, you know? These are good if your opponent is literally just sitting there and blocking. Otherwise, they're just an enormous risk, because you will get DI'd, you'll get jumped in on, you'll get drive rushed. And speaking of drive rush, his drive rush checks aren't that good. Like, this shit is fast, covers a lot of range, but it's not very active. This right here, stubby as fuck. This right here, stubby as fuck. This is not very active, and it's slow. So you don't really have great anti-drive rush tools. And on his drive rush, let me just show you this. His drive rush is also not very good. His options from drive rush, he doesn't have strong options on drive rush that leave you plus in your opponent's face in throw range. Look at this. Like his buttons that are actually plus, his mediums, don't leave you in throw range. He has to go for drive rush jabs, which is fucking terrible. If your character has to go for drive rush jabs for pressure, like for meaty pressure, that's terrible, man, because they're gonna be a lot harder to confirm from. And the damage you get from them, if they do decide to, like, you know, wake up button and you hit them meaty with this, it's not gonna be as good as landing a fucking medium, right? You got drive rush medium into heavy into whatever. Every fucking character has that. Ed doesn't. Now, the best option I found from drive rush is this, and it's +1 on block. Like, it's not. They're not great, man. It's just not great. Like, the way he deals with drive rush and the way he uses drive rush, it's not fucking great. His only plus on block button is this. They can crouch under it, so it's literally fucking worthless during pressure. It's a shame, because his other tools are really good. I forgot to talk about this one. Crouching heavy kick is ridiculous. His level 2 is really good. There's potential here. You know, you can force like throw mix-ups, and you know, but the damage you get if you bait a throw is not great. Rashid's level 2 is much better, because if Rashid opens you up with level 2, you fucking die. You know, you explode. That's not the same factor with that. The best thing about his level 2 is that on hit, he gets huge corner carry. Even from his basic combos, you know? Like, huge corner carry, man. Literally from corner to corner. That's really good. But that's like situational, because a lot of times you'll activate, like, they're already in the corner, you know? Or they're close to the corner, so you don't need that much corner carry. You just need a way to, like, force damage and force a mix. Like Rashid's level 2, Blanca's level 2, like JP's level 2, like these great level 2s. Like, this level 2 doesn't really offer that. He has a lot of strong tools, but they're just, it doesn't feel like they fit very well in with the system mechanics, you know? They don't mesh very well with the system mechanics. This gets eaten up by just random aggression. What else, man? You have to kind of release them fast, but again, like, you're prone to getting jumped in on, and there's a sweet spot. Like, if they jump in from this range, they can empty jump and force us to whiff. So you have to use different tools. So you're constantly looking at the air, which makes his mid-range a lot worse. But honestly, I think, yeah, his throw loop is really good. I forgot to mention that. His throw loop is actually very good. It's a dash up throw loop, but you dash up, you're +13 after the dash, so you have time to walk up throw or bait the shimmy. It's not like Jury, where Jury has to, like, she has to commit to, like, you know, baiting the throw instantly, like dash up, dash back in order to bait the throw. He doesn't need to do that. You can dash up and walk back. His jump-ins, I forgot to mention his jump-ins. His jump-in buttons aren't very good, man. This one's, it's a good instant overhead if you want to, like, you know, finish a round. There's a good neutral jump button, like JP's button, but not as good. And this is, I don't know, a weird ass air to air that's very slow. Like, he doesn't have Unga jump-ins. It's not like Balrog in Street Fighter 4, like jump roundhouse, just nuking everything. He doesn't have any of that. So all we're left with is a character that, you know, has some interesting combo routes, interesting way of playing neutral, but I feel like he doesn't really abuse the system mechanics. Like, he kind of gets abused by the system mechanics a bit more. He does have Fireball Drive Rush, but again, since his Drive Rush buttons aren't very good, you can't really fully abuse this. Like, Aki's Fireball Drive Rush is 100 times better because she has good buttons from Drive Rush. Ed doesn't, so it's weird. Like, he has all these good tools, but then the, like, since his other, like his functions from Drive Rush and his jabs aren't very good. It doesn't feel complete. But I do think that this character is like 3 buffs away from being really good. I think his toolkit is there. He just needs more range on this, or to make this crouch jab cancelable. He needs more range on this, or like a higher pop-up to make his juggles from it on anti-air more reliable. Because right now you'll anti-air and a lot of times they won't pop up high enough to combo from it, and this does pitiful damage as an anti-air, so it's not a real deterrent to people jumping. So again, which leads to like a bigger feeling of getting randomed out with Ed, like getting mauled, because there's no real deterrent to people just playing stupid. But I'm hoping we'll see some changes. They played it very safe with Ed. I think it's because they'd rather just, you know, release as is and then tweak them, buff them, than just giving us a, you know, a possibly OP character right before a balance change. Like, I don't think they want to shake up the meta too much. I don't think they want to just create chaos, like, you know, releasing fucking Abigail Season 3, or like Seth or Luke in Street Fighter 5, where they release a broken character as DLC and then it just kind of shit on the whole meta. I don't think they want to do that. They'd rather play it safe and then just buff later. I don't think that's going to be the case with Akuma. Akuma's going to come out of the gate with a fucking bazooka. You already know it.